Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Look, if I'm going to be doing these, publishing those videos on media and politics and the truth, I think it's only fair and possibly even a little bit important that you hear the truth about me first as well, for the sake of some credibility. And look, you can do with it what you like. You can agree, you can disagree, and you can move on, whatever's better for you. But at least you're going to be informed. Today I want to show you what happens and what impact it can have when the media doesn't quite publish the truth. If you Google my name, you'll see that AI does a little bit of an overview to start with. And look, AI is AI, it does its thing. Let's face it, love it or hate it, it's not going anywhere, right? But it obviously picks up information from anywhere and everywhere. Info that's publicly available. And yep, I was a director at Noel Jones Real Estate, that's true, not anymore. I resigned from that organisation a few years ago. I don't really have any association with that company anymore. Married with kids, yep, that's correct. Went to Baldwin High School, no problem, all good. Okay, this is what I want to talk about. Recent legal matter. Let's talk about this one, shall we? So the Herald Sun ran an article about me in late 2023. And seeing as I've got the court outcomes here with me today, why don't we check out and verify whether or not what they said is true? What do you think? Should we set the record straight? What does the article say? It says, Tim Penhalluriack pleaded guilty to reckless driving charges, including performing burnouts and driving under the influence. Nasty. Is that so? Well, that's what thousands of people read about me. My neighbours, my potential clients, my family. But is this actually true? Why don't we have a look at what the court record says? Okay, first one out. Drive with unnecessary noise and smoke. Withdrawn. Driving under the influence. Withdrawn. Loss of traction, withdrawn. Loss of traction, withdrawn. Reckless conduct endangering life, withdrawn. Forgive my ignorance, but withdrawn means not guilty, doesn't it? When criminal charges are withdrawn, it means that the prosecution's decided not to proceed with the case. Withdrawal is an acknowledgement by the prosecution that the charges against you cannot be proven. So what does the article say again? It says I was performing burnouts and driving under the influence, doesn't it? And those charges were withdrawn, plain and simple. Well, you might say, but the police charged you. And I'm not going to argue with that. They most certainly did. And the police can and will charge you with whatever they like, but they have to be able to prove it. I've said this before in the last video. Police allegations are exactly that. Allegations. Nothing more, nothing less. Until they're proven in a court, they're simply allegations. And you know what the funny thing is? The Herald Sun reporter was sitting right next to me in the court. I'm pretty sure it was her. Her name's Erin Constable. She works for the Herald Sun. So she would have known that these charges were withdrawn. Yet the article still paints me as a drunk and dangerous hoon, tearing up the streets and putting your kids' lives at risk. He's a dangerous criminal. A hoon. I'm not going to go in and ramble through all the details of that day. They threw the book at me, these guys. Forced me into the back of a divvy van in front of my 7-year-old daughter without arresting me. They took my phone off me and held it with them without any documentation. The sergeant at the police station asked me about my vaccination status. I got no idea what that means. When I got back to the station, they photographed me without telling me why. There was literally dozens of police officers wandering in and out of the interview room that I was sitting in. The door wasn't even closed. No recording, officers just walking in and out. They let me go on the day. And then 6 months later, they turn up at my house with all of these charges. And they packed on charge after charge. I think if those charges had stuck, I'd be in jail for decades. But they didn't. And the court records prove it so. So if you Google me and you start to withdraw from fear that I might be a danger to your family, now you know the truth. And do you think that this article had some consequences? Of course it did. I lived in the same street for 20 years. My neighbours were my friends. And as soon as that article came out, people started crossing the road to avoid me. Elderly ladies I've been helping with their bins for years suddenly thought, oh my God, my neighbour's a criminal. Professionally? What about professionally? Clients use Google, right? I don't know everyone. I know a lot of people, but I certainly don't know everyone. And I certainly know that not many people know me. So the best thing for them to do is to jump onto Google and check, who is he? Who is Tim Penhalluriack? Or who is whoever this is that I'm thinking about working with? And what do they see? They see a Herald Sun article. And what do you think happens to my business? Years of hard work, years of reputation, years of working 7 days a week, 15 hours a day, gone in a single headline. And here's the worst part, you can't just unring the bell. Even though the charges were dropped, the mud still sticks, still there. And that's what the media counts on. See, sensationalism sells papers, not truth. Truth's boring, no one wants the truth. And look, this isn't just about me, obviously not. It's about how the media powers work. I want to expose that. If they can misrepresent me, a real estate agent with court records that anyone can check, imagine what else they can do. The media makes money from outrage, not from accuracy. A story about me being found not guilty, that's not going to sell. There's no use writing that. But a story about a wealthy, high-flying real estate agent being reckless, yeah, no problem, that sells. That's going to sell for sure. And this isn't journalism, people. This is character assassination dressed up as reporting. And unless you fight back with the truth, which few of us can do, they're going to get away with it. I reached out to the Herald Sun about all of it. I told them the article was defamatory, showed them the court outcomes, and their response, we stand by our reporter. And doesn't that tell you everything that you need to know? Truth is secondary, sensationalism is primary. So in spite of all this, here's my answer. I'm still here, stronger than I've ever been. I've been through hell, and so's my family, my kids, my wife. But now I'm going to use my voice, my own platform, to expose and show the truth. If you're in the media and you're going to tell lies, I'm coming for you. And my advice to you, if you're watching this video, please don't take the headlines at face value. Ask for proof, check, verify, ask some questions. Because one day, you never know, it might be your name in the paper. And trust me, you'll want people to know the difference between headlines and the truth. So sorry about the personal video, guys. But yeah, I just wanted to shed some light on that before I go any further. The next video I'm planning on doing is going to be about the Australian Associated Press and how that works. To me, it seems somewhat secret. It's not widely understood how exactly they work. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that next time. So stick around and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.